I recently dove headfirst into Makita's XGT line for some outdoor power equipment tools to get us through the trimming, the cutting, and all the stuff that we do in landscaping in the fall. And let me tell you, there are certain brands that just excel at specific tools within different markets. And the Makita XGT line, for me, really makes some wonderful tools as far as it goes with outdoor power equipment. Now, one of those tools that really stands out to me is this Hedge trimmer. This is model number GHU01Z, and it is a 24-inch Hedge trimmer, Makita's own brushless motor that is inside. And what makes this stand out to me is, one, how smooth it is. There are very few out there that are as smooth as this guy. Take a listen. And there's some oil coming out because I just oiled this guy up after a few hours of use. But it's so smooth and it's fast. 5,000 SPM on high. I can switch that down. I have 3 different modes. On low, it's 2,000 SPM. On 3, 3,600. Now, if I were to get this guy caught in something, we have an 1 3/8 inch width that we could go at something. If it got caught, I would just hit this reverse button. And then I could hit the button again and it would back itself out, and then it would go forward after I stop. It's perfect. But what I really love about it is the fact that I have 5 different positions that I can put this head in. And that allows me to get comfortable while I'm trying to do some hedge trimming. And in the case of what you're watching, there's some overgrown hedges here, and I am trying to bring them down. In some cases, scalp them because they've gotten too large and we're trying to bring everything back. But this just makes it feel comfortable. Now, what you have here in a lot of Makita stuff is a power button. That power button is there for safety. And you also have a safety piece on the back. And one of the things I really like about this is, while this is a single speed trigger, it feels like a variable speed trigger. It is smooth. It is not hard to pull. There's no click when it comes on. It's easy to hold down. And you also have a safety up front. So in many cases, you could have the trigger held in the back and you can use the front trigger as you're on and off. And that, to me, just rocks it out. It's just amazing and simple to use. I'm not a big fan of multiple safeties, dual handles, but in this, it just seems to work so well because you have multiple ways of being able to turn this tool on and off in different scenarios. This model is 44 inches overall, weighs in at just about 9.5 pounds with the battery, and the runtime on this with the 5 amp hour battery is absolutely spectacular. I spent 8 hours working on this house trying to go through all the hedges, pull everything out. That includes a lot of cleanup. It includes cutting down some trees. It includes making sure that I'm not contaminating the mulch with everything. And I'll tell you, battery life on this was absolutely amazing. While I didn't have 8 hours of runtime on this specific tool, I walked away with at least 4 and still had a half battery charged, which is great. Anyone's gonna be able to pick this up, do a full 8-hour day of working with it without an issue, and still have battery left in the tank. To me, that's important, and also what's important is going to be vibrations. We've all used a lot of these tools, and I think that this one separates itself due to the lack of vibration that you feel in the complete smoothness of how it just goes through everything and doesn't bring any of that back in on the user. You can even get in thick areas where you're cutting thicker branches, or you're going through an area that has a lot of smaller branches that are a little bit larger, and this just cruises through it and it doesn't bring that back to your hands. I think that's huge when you're using this all day. You don't have to have a very large set of gloves on to be continually using this and feel comfortable. The speed at 5,000 SPM, I don't know if that's going to be considered fast or slow compared to others, but it's perfect for cutting through the hedges that I'm working on anyways. If you'd like to drop down in speed, which I don't really feel the need to, but it's there if you'd like to lower your battery consumption and or lower your work pace. Like I said, you have 3 different levels. You can work through that. Being able to turn that handle and get comfortable in weird and odd angles. To me, as a guy who isn't doing hedges every day, I basically do them twice a year, it just helps me get through to get that right cut or to get in the right space, to get the perfect angle on things. It just makes it a lot more comfortable. And that's one of the reasons I think I pick up this tool over top of any of the other ones. Comfort, low vibration, smooth to use, fast to cut through things, and it just gives me a feeling that I can do a better job with this tool than with many of the others. So if you can get this tool in many different configurations, first, why the XGT line? And to me, if I'm gonna go into this, 40 volts gives me a lot of power. It's quick, it doesn't bog down if I get it into a tough situation. It allows me to go into different outdoor power equipment tools that still need higher voltages, but I want a little bit lighter weight, don't want to run dual battery, and I want to have the ability to have that snappy power, yet one battery, and the convenience of going through that one battery and just loading everything up on that line. I was using their pole saw, which is absolutely wonderful. Speeds through a lot of the different cuts that you need. You can get into different places, make some odd cuts, and really helps you when you're cutting down trees next to houses. You can kind of take branches off where you need to. Really helps to work things through. Their chainsaw in the 40 volt worked excellent for cutting down these trees. We're in a neighborhood where we want to keep things quiet. We can work in the morning next to other houses, not make the other people next door upset. That makes the owners of the house that we're working on happier. So while a gas saw might do a little bit better while we're cutting down large trees, we can work through it with a battery saw and keep everyone happy. And that to me is what makes your business grow. Happy clients. Many times we'll have the neighbors come over, talk to us about what we're doing. If you can get in front of the neighbors, 90% chance says you can get them as clients. They'll see what you're doing, like it, like that you're not being invasive, overly loud, being respectful, and that today is hard to find, plain and simple. These are great tools. Comments below, I'm interested in anything you'd like to see here. I got a ton of video on this specific hedge trimmer, plus the pole saw, plus the chainsaw. We have other hedge trimmers that are going to be a little bit longer that we're going to show you as we go through this house, but absolutely superbly engineered and built tools. Comments below, give us a like in this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.